Good afternoon, student. In our previous class, though we have started with the water management programs in the chapter water resource, but somehow it has not been completed in the video because of some technical issue. So today once again we will going to start with the water management. So watershed management basically refers to the efficient management and conservation of surface and groundwater resources. It involves prevention of runoff and storage and recharge of groundwater through various methods like through the percolation tanks, recharge wells, etc. However, in broad sense, watershed management includes the conservation strategies, regeneration, and judicious use of all the resources, that is the natural resource like land, water, plants and animals, and human within a watershed. Watershed management aims at bringing about balance between natural resources on the one hand and society on the other hand. The success of watershed development largely depends upon the participation of us. That means the community participation. So under the initiative of the central and the state government both, this watershed development and management programs in the country has been undertaken. Some of these are being implemented by non-governmental organization also. For example, Hariyali is a watershed development project sponsored by the central government which aims at enabling the rural population to conserve water for drinking purpose, irrigation, fisheries and afforestation. The project is being executed by Gram Panchayat with people's participation. That means the community involvement being done here. Next is the Miru Meru, that is Water and You program in Andhra Pradesh. And Ardhari Pani Sansad in Alwar, Rajasthan have taken up construction of various water harvesting structures such as percolation tanks, dugout ponds, johad, which is known as johads, check dams through people's participation. Tamil Nadu has made water harvesting structure in the house compulsory. No building can be constructed without making structure for water harvesting. Watershed development projects in some areas have been successfully done in rejuvenating environment and economy. However, there are only a few success stories. In majority of cases, the program is still in its nascent stage. That means in the initial stage. There is a need to generate awareness among us regarding the benefits of watershed development and management among people in the country. And through this integrated water resource management approach, water availability can be ensured on a sustainable basis so that we can have our water resource utilized sustainably through these water management techniques. Now, what is a rainwater harvesting technique? Rainwater harvesting is a method to capture and store rainwater for various uses. It is also used to recharge groundwater aquifers. It is a low-cost and eco-friendly technique for preserving every drop of water by guiding the rainwater to boreholes, pits and wells. Rainwater harvesting increases water availability, checks the declining groundwater table, improves the quality of groundwater through dilution of contaminants like fluorides and nitrates, prevents soil erosions, flooding and arrests salt water intrusion in coastal areas if used to recharge aquifers. Rainwater harvesting has been practiced through various methods by different communities in the countries for a long time. Traditional rainwater harvesting in rural areas is done by using surface storage bodies like lakes, ponds, irrigation tanks or tankers in Rajasthan. Rainwater harvesting structure locally known as kund or tanka, a covered underground tank, are structured near or in the house or village to store harvested rainwater. There is a wide scope to use rainwater harvesting technique to conserve precious water resource. It can be done by harvesting rainwater on rooftop also, that is practiced in Rajasthan, and in open space. Harvesting rainwater also decreases the community dependence on groundwater for domestic uses. Besides bridging the demand supply gap, it can also save energy to pump groundwater as recharge leads to rise in groundwater table. So these days rainwater harvesting is being taken up on a massive scale in many states in the country, not only in Rajasthan where the scarcity is there. Urban areas can specially benefit from rainwater harvestings as water demand has already outstripped supply in most of the cities and towns because building of the housing apartment or flats. So that's why rainwater harvesting system is very, very essential. Now a picture of harvesting through watershed management is been given. See, the check dam has been built here. Stone walls have been constructed in order to practice the watershed management program. Harvesting through lakes, building or digging up a lake. Harvesting through surface wells, rooftop collection of water is being depicted in the picture. See, the rainwater is collecting from the roof and it is being transferred through a pipe which is being fitted to the tank which is being done, and a filter is also being there. Next picture is also a rooftop rain harvesting system being practiced and it is recharging the well. So the picture is clear to you. So apart from the above mentioned factors, the issue of desalination of water, particularly in coastal areas and brackish water in arid and semi-arid areas, transfer of water from water surplus areas to water deficit areas through interlinking of rivers can be important remedies for solving the water problem in India. So other than the building of watershed management, other than building of rainwater harvesting structures, we can do that the water from the surplus area can be transmitted to the water deficit region by interlinking the rivers. However, the most important issue from the point of view of individual user, household and communities is pricing of water. Every individual community have to think about the importance of water, and in that respect we have to preserve the water. Then see, there is a highlight of India's National Water Policy of 2002. The National Water Policy of 2002 stipulates that water allocation priority should be given. What will be the priority? For the drinking water, for irrigational water, for hydropower generation, for navigation, for industrial and other uses. The policy stipulates progressive new approach to water management. So the key features on which the policy has been framed is that the irrigation and multi-purpose project should invariably include drinking water component. Wherever there is no alternative source of drinking water, providing drinking water to all human beings and animals should be the first priority. Measures should be taken to limit and regulate the exploitation of groundwater. Both surface and groundwater should be regularly monitored for quality. A phased program should be undertaken for improving water quality. The efficiency of utilization in all the diverse uses of water should be improved. Awareness should be built regarding the scarce resource which should be conserved. Conservation consciousness should be promoted through education, regulation, incentives and disincentives. So we have read this water resource chapter. Hope you have understand what is the importance of water resource in our daily life, why we need to conserve the resource. Though we have an ample of water resource, being the 3/4 of the earth is covered with water, still we face water scarcity, but we need to follow certain basic things while managing the water resources. So we need to conserve the water resources for our future generation in order to have a good management of water being done. So we have finished the chapter. Thank you, class.